Hey everybody, it is Thursday night, it's 8 o'clock, it's time for the Fat Thor Podcast. I'm your host, Andy Gunnin. We have got an amazing show for you tonight. We have a CBD expert here to talk everything CBD and educate us about CBD and the benefits and how to use and what to use and how to figure out what to use and all that. And we're going to let Roz tell us all about that in a second. But first, we've got to go through and take care of our sponsors. If you are in the metro Atlanta area, and I know we had some bad storms last Monday, we have our sponsor, Venture Roofing. If you got a tree through your the roof, unfortunately, hopefully not, leak, you had some damage, you think you got some damage, give them a call at 678-656-7482. They'll give you a free estimate, take care of you. Tell Jason you heard it here on the Fat Thor Podcast for Power 108.9, and they will give you a free estimate and help you out, whether it's a repair, a full replacement, or whatever you need. They will give you guidance and help you out. We also have our sponsor, who is also our guest tonight, the CBD Joint Collective. Roz, she's here, and she's going to be educating us tonight on everything CBD, products, everything. I know it's scary. It's not scary. It's just you don't know what to take. You don't know when to take, how to take. There's a million different things. So trust me, I take it, and I still don't know, and I still have a lot of questions. So we're glad to have her here to help walk us through those steps. But before we get to that, just to let you know, yes, Rick is not here tonight. I know I did talk about it on the radio show Tuesday, but I wanted to do it here on the podcast for everybody that listens on our 18 platforms. Rick has gone on to do bigger and better things. He's got shows and everything else going on, and he decided he wants to go on and continue down that path, which we kind of knew that was going to happen when things got a little bit busier, and that's fine. But I'm still going to be here. We're still going to be doing the podcast, the radio show, just like we normally do. And we've got a lot of guests lined up for you, some great shows just like tonight. So let me bring our guest in and get this started, because I know she's going to give us a lot of information, because I got a lot of questions. And if you've got questions, you can ask them, comment, and we will take them and hopefully get to everybody tonight. So without further ado, the owner of the CBD Joint Collective in Marietta, Georgia, welcome to the show, Miss Roz Grigger. Hey, Roz, how are you doing, darling?
Hey, what's going on, Andy? Thanks for having me. Hi, guys. How everybody doing?
We're glad. We're glad to have you, because like I said, I've got a million questions, even though I have been taking it regularly for about almost a year, I think, totally now. I still got a ton of questions, and I still don't know what I'm doing.
I think you got a pretty good idea.
Well, tell us a little bit about you, how you got involved with CBD, and how now you have a store that is dedicated to CBD. You're not a smoke shop or anything like that. So walk us down that path real quick.
Okay, absolutely not a smoke shop. My entry into the CBD world was actually by mistake. I was on vacation in Myrtle Beach about 3.5 years ago, and I kept seeing these 3 letters, CBD. So I'm like, what in the world is CBD? I never heard of it. And I tried it. Now, prior to that, I was not a advocate of the cannabis plant. I was actually on the opposite side because of the stigma and all of the propaganda that was surrounding it. So to me and to people where I come from, it was taboo.
Right.
That particular, it was my birth. It was just a good day to try it. And I was interested. So I tried it. Needless to say, I was blown away almost.
What did you try?
Minutes. What did you try? I tried a gummy called, it was by CBD Experience, I think it's called. It was a gummy. Okay. And they just said, take it. And I took it. Okay. My partner that was with me, she took it as well. And it didn't do her as well as it did me. But I was like, oh my goodness, what is this? Okay. So once I understood that it was that, I started doing research. And that was like 3 years ago. One thing led to another. It was a little taboo. So I sold it before the shop, because I had a little small business, but it was online and through personal friends. Right. Then once the hemp bill, the HOPE Act passed, which made it easier, that's when we jumped into the CBD space. But I was already in it, not the cannabis part, but more so the hemp part, because I was on some medications. 15 years I was on blood pressure medication. I was taking mood stabilizers, and I also had PTSD I'm a disabled vet. So
did not know that. Thank you for your service, by the way. I did not know that.
Thank you. So that's basically the long and short of it.
Gotcha.
So I hope I answered the question.
No, you did. You did answer the question because because you see CBD popping up everywhere from gas stations to tobacco shops and everywhere, and there's a million brands of stuff, and it's CBD this and you look at it and go, is it the same? Is it all the same? And I know my personal experience was it takes a lot for me to turn my brain off and to wind down and go to sleep. I have a very hard time going to sleep and winding down. And I've always been that way when I was running my own businesses, even now doing comedy. My brain does not turn off and I can't shut it down. And I'll be up to I'll run my mind till 2, 3 in the morning about stuff, whatever. I mean, it's not anxiety. It's just like, oh, I got this. And I'm like, oh, this is a good idea. And oh, this is great. And then next thing you know, it's like 3 in the morning and I'm not sleeping. So, and then someone said, hey, because I was complaining about taking melatonin and I don't do well with medications and it would drag me out all day till 2, 3 o'clock. And I would feel like a zombie. And I hate that. I hate feeling like that. That's why I was never a big weed smoker or anything. Cause I'm like, I'm not a downer guy or anything and nothing against it. I just, I'm like, look, and I was complaining and someone said, you need to take CBD then. And it's not, and I had some joint pain too from powerlifting and some things I did in my body and abuse. And they said, you need to take CBD. I said, no, that's for pain and stuff. It doesn't help with sleep. They go, oh no, it does. And so that's where I started, I guess, just sampling and experimenting. And I had nobody to walk me down that path. Now you are that person I probably should have walked in and said, hey, because your store is dedicated to nothing but CBD. And I could have said, hey, Roz, here's all my issues.
Well, let me jump in here real quick because it's one of the misconceptions when it comes to CBD.
Right, please.
Number one, we're not doctors. We cannot suggest, recommend any of that. What we do, we present the products, give them the information, but they have to do their due diligence because people they think, well, just give me something for this. I have a heart condition, blood pressure. Whoa, excuse me, ma'am.
Right.
We can't do that. So technically, you have to check with your doctor before you even start CBD, they say.
Okay.
That's a personal thing.
Good advice.
So just remember that if we're not supposed to, I mean, you can say based on this or people say this, but if you take this going to happen. It may happen and it may not.
Right.
So, but point is, we're not physicians and we don't really have the ability or the power to suggest stuff when it comes to medical conditions, if that makes sense.
Right. No, it makes sense. And I think my question was, it's like, okay, what do people, I'm 6'2", 260 pounds. I'm a big guy. So to get a benefit of something, I got to figure out how much of it I should take without going too much where I'm a zombie or too little that it doesn't do anything. And I started, with just a 10 milligram gummy and I was like, okay, let's see what that does. And did that for like 2 weeks. And I was like, okay, it's not doing nothing. I'm not getting anything, I'm not winding down or anything like that. So then someone said, well, you go to the next, go 20, 25, now I'm taking a 30 milligram gummy.
That's right.
And so now I'm there and that effect. And when I take it about an hour later, I start winding down and I'm able to go to sleep and then wake up the next day and I'm not like a zombie.
You know what that's called, Andy?
What's that?
That's called your sweet spot.
That's the sweet spot. Okay.
That's your CBD sweet spot.
Gotcha.
Now everybody's is different.
Okay.
Because everybody's body is not the same.
Exactly.
Even twins have some sort of difference. So when it comes to taking CBD, just what you did, you start small and you build up or you lessen it depending on your body's response to it.
Right.
So you 200 and something pounds, I'm 500, I'm 5'3", 140. Sometime I might need 30. Sometime I need 10. It just depends on what I ate. If I had it depends on so many variables. So I just tell people you just have to be your own steward. Be mindful what you're taking, where are you getting it from? And I ask people, well, how much are you taking? I don't know.
I don't know. It's like walking it's like going to Colorado and buying a cookie and just going, okay, let's see what happens. And I know they're not the same. And I know they're not the same thing. And they're not the same thing.
And I want to say that, but that's the segue. I'll take that. So let me say this: hemp and marijuana,
right?
Two different things,
right? Okay.
You cannot confuse them. They are not the same. They are not the same. They are the same in the molecular structure, all that, but there is a significant difference, and it's the THC content. So when people come in here and say, "Oh, I don't want to get high," I'm like, "Good, you're in the right place."
Yeah, exactly.
You won't get high here. I mean, not unless you're taking Delta 8, but that's a whole nother story.
Okay, we'll get to that. I'm gonna write that down because we might hopefully we have time to get to that. But go ahead.
Remember, your sweet spot is very important. Everybody is different. So even if you and 5 of your friends took the same exact dosage, you guys will probably not have the same experience because their body is different than yours. So just remember, if I lick on this ice cream cone, can you taste it?
No. You
can't. You got to experience it for yourself. So that's one of the things I talk to my customers about.
Okay. So, and then you make a valid point because everything affects everybody differently. And we've got to understand and know that going in. But that was the confusing, well, not the confusing part for me. I knew that going in because I'm as big as a guy as I am, and I don't have a gallbladder, so things digest in my system slower. So I know I've got to take it earlier, or in the evening, so I know that by 10:30, 11 I can go to sleep versus 11 o'clock and not winding down and it not affecting me till 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, you're making my point. It's different for everybody. Even in a day, you might need a different dosage. You have to pay attention to your own body.
So let me ask this, because there's oils, there's gummies, you can smoke it now. You can do all these different things. And if you're looking for some products, we can go ahead and put your website up on here and we can talk about the products. Let's do that real quick. I'm going to share the screen. This is Roz's webpage, the CBD Joint Collective that you see at the bottom, but I'm going to actually share it here. Here, let me get my share screen.
10% off online all the time. If you order online, it's already 10% off. If you're from the show and you come into the shop and you say, listen, I saw you on Andy Gunnin, 10% off on the spot.
There you go. 10% on the spot and online. Perfect.
Get it online automatically. That's probably going to be until April. But it's been on there since April last year. Okay,
until April. I'm going to write that down so I'll make sure I plug that so I don't forget that. All right. So here is Roz's website, the CBD Joint. You also have curbside pickup, right? And
curbside, we do same day delivery within a 5-mile radius of the shop. Curbside, and we do same day shipping as well, doing business hours. If you order on Sunday, it won't be filled until Tuesday, but sometime I do come in Monday, but Tuesday for sure if I'm already going out the shop, because it's just me. I'm a one-woman band here.
And she's at 801 Church Street in Marietta, Georgia, in case you wanted to know what that 5-mile radius was. So that way you can look it up.
Yes.
So you can look it up, CBD Joint, 801 Church Street, Marietta, for that, just to have everybody informed. Even though those that are listening to us on 18 different platforms, you can get her stuff at the CBDJointCollective.com. We got one comment. Let's take the comment real quick before we dive into this. CBD is the best. Nina Page. Do you know Nina?
That's my sister. Let me tell you a story about her.
Okay, please do.
She's been a cannabis user for a long time. Mm-hmm. But she had all these issues most of her life, and she smoked most of her life. But when she got introduced to CBD by me, and she started taking it, all those things changed for her. And this was just recently. And I haven't given it to her, but she wasn't taking it. So I'm like, sis, you got to take it. All right, I'm going to take it. So when she was with me, I made sure that she took it. She ain't had no hot flashes. She was sleeping better. Because
she said she had back pain and hot flashes. But she was a big marijuana, but she was a marijuana smoker.
Big. You said it right. Big.
I didn't mean to like throw anybody under the bus or anything, but everybody has their thing. I'm more of a, anyways. let's continue.
It is supposed to be a comedy show, though, right?
Yeah, it's good. Yes, ma'am. It's good. Yes, ma'am. But that even brings more to the light of this conversation, because people are like, well, if you smoke weed, I'm getting the CBD, and I should be getting the same effects. And you're saying, whoa, hold the bus, pump the brakes.
Well, from all the research that I've done, all the people I've spoken to,
yes, even we know. She goes, I mean, it really helps. Yes, no, we understand that you're in that. We're not throwing you under the bus. I promise.
No, and then you good, Nene. Thank you, sis, for even coming on. I appreciate it.
Yes, thank you very much. So, anyways, go ahead. So, go into that answer that you were about to say, because a lot of people who say, "Oh, well, I smoke weed, daily, but CBD, I'm getting it because I smoke regular weed."
It's the different now. I don't know everything. I know a lot, but I don't know everything. But this basically, to put it as basic as I was giving it, it's the way they bind to the receptors throughout the body, the C1 and C2 receptors.
Okay. And the C1 and C2, C1 receptors your brain, and C2 is your body, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. For those for folks who were probably had that question, because I had that question too. Until just recently, reading more, because I knew you were coming on, and I was like, well, I want to make sure I'm not missing anything. And I'm glad you said C1 affects your mind and C2 affects your body. Oh, we got a chart. Okay, we got a chart coming in. I'm going to take your page down before we go back into the products, because we've gotten kind of sidetracked. Okay, CB1, CB2. For those who are watching, you can see it. For those who are listening on the podcast later, CB1 is located in the brain, and then CB2 is throughout the body and cells.
They're regular. CBD is basically a regulator. It regulates a lot of the natural occurrences in the body. Over time they go out of whack.
Right.
And I saw a documentary on TV that one of the doctors explained it very well. And what he said is, when CBD enters the body through those methods, it trickles down into the areas that it needs to help.
Right.
So ain't nothing going away. It's just making your body work on itself to bring it back to what they call homeostasis, or a natural balance. Everything in the world is balance.
Right.
It's just the way it is.
Exactly.
So CBD, the way it binds, and it's not intoxicating, because the way it binds, the way it binds to the receptor, it doesn't intoxicate like the way the THC molecule fits into the receptor. So that's why. So
it's not a psychotic. It doesn't give you that high or that buzz feeling.
But people mistake it as a buzz because they feel so good. They're like, oh my God, I felt so good. Yeah, it's not a buzz. It's just your body doing what it's supposed to do anyway.
Well, and we don't know that. We don't know that as a society, because that's all we associate things with, is a buzz, quote unquote buzz. You know what I'm saying? From like, I guess
Andy, that's another topic, honey.
I know. I don't want to get into that path. I want to stay on CBD, because we keep turning left and right.
Yeah, it really, I think after this show, I'm probably going to file some charges against the United States government for keeping this from me. Because I might have been a lot nicer.
Oh, okay.
I might not have been as anxious or as hyped as I was as a kid, or I might not have had as many issues.
Well, let's go back.
That was a joke, bro. That was a joke.
I understand. I understand that. I understand totally. So let's go back over here to the page, because we were getting to products where I was like, well, there's oils, and there's smoking, and there's gummies, and then there's pills. It's like, and now it's in drinks. It's in everything. So it's like, what is, explain to, or try to explain. Well, I know you can.
Okay. Well, here you go. So basically, is 5 ways for CBD to get in the body or to affect you. But basically, the first one most people don't really mess with is suppositories, and it's about bioavailability, how long it stays, how long it takes to work.
You said suppositories, right?
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you why, because there are a lot of women out there that suffer from cramps, endometriosis, and all of those other places. A lot of women come in here, or not even here, but have used CBD suppositories to help with the pain, fibroids.
Okay.
Talk to your doctor, see if they will consider, consider it. But yeah, People that can't move.
Are more doctors being open to this? Because I think a while back, people, doctors were like, I don't, weren't really promoting it. We're kind of like, and now I think are they becoming more open and more receptive to that? I think.
I think more doctors and more of the medical field that are up on the 21st century way of living. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The ones that are stuck in the old type of ways and the pharmaceutical drug way, no.
So are you having people come in the store and say, hey, my doctor sent me here and said it's okay?
Absolutely.
So walk us through that. Walk us through that scenario. So someone comes in and said, my doctor said to come see you for, you name it, because you deal with it.
Chiropractic send a lot of their patients here.
Okay.
But let's get back to the methods, because that's going to help a lot.
Please. Yes, go ahead.
From my understanding, and for what I've read and saw and researched and been told and looked at, and for the last 3 years, I've been looking at this stuff. Mm-hmm. 5 major ways that we can get CBD. And that's, like I said, the suppositories. You can smoke it. Anything that inhale, nose, mouth, still inhalation.
Okay.
So the bioavailability is quick.
Right.
But it doesn't last long. Okay. Now you got number 3. You got drops. Drops, sublinguals. Anything under the tongue is quicker than the gummies.
Right.
Okay. So after the smoking and the oils, then you take the edibles. The edibles are anything that's digested through the digestive system. Don't matter what it is. If you eat it or drink it and it goes there, consider that an edible.
Okay.
So, and then you got topicals. That's for the skin. That's just where it hurts. So if you got a sore shoulder, you can't rub that on your knee. It ain't gonna work.
Good to know.
So you have to place it where the pain is. So that's the categories. Now, the products fall in those categories.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. So now you said suppository is better for women.
I said suppositories. Some women use suppositories because
I didn't want to misquote you, and I was trying to make sure and circle back because I didn't even know there were suppositories for CBD. Like I said, there's a million things of it because you see all these products and it's just overwhelming of what there is and what to use it for. Because when you said the oil, I ordered some hemp oil one time, and I think ordering the hemp oil was opposite of what I was attempting to get, and I didn't know that till like halfway through the bottle. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's another. Yeah, those are made from the seeds. It doesn't contain the cannabinoids that the hemp plant because of where it comes from. But that's just some other thing that people have to understand. In order for the CBD to work, it has to get to your inside. How else besides needles? But it has to go somewhere to get in.
Right.
So even if you see all of these products and companies, just remember one thing. It's all CBD, because without the CBD in it, they would just be products.
Right. They'd just be regular gummy bears or
regular gummy bears. So the CBD is only one CBD. Everybody say, I want CBD oil. It can come in oil, whether it's under the tongue, whether it's beard oil. That's a beard oil right there.
Right. That's why I was just, that was beard. This is the beard oil.
Yep. Then you have massage oil. So when they say CBD oil, it's just the way the world got it, not the way probably should have been hemp. The whole thing is hemp, but we just say CBD.
So if you throw a bath bomb in, you're not going to be ingesting it into your body and getting the effect of but you're just going to get it on the skin surface of whatever. What do the bath bombs do? What do the bath bombs? What are they for? Please explain that to me, because I'm not a bath bomb guy anyway.
Your skin, you want it. It's still absorbed through the skin.
Okay.
So that's when you soak in Epsom salt.
Okay, same scenario.
Baths, it's a similar concept. It's just the CBD is being dispersed, and now it's getting into you through the soaking in the tub. So it still is getting in. And I'm gonna tell you what it does. I have degenerative disc.
Okay.
It is my nemesis.
Okay.
Sometimes I had to pour a couple bombs in there. And last night I jumped in the tub for like 45 minutes with some CBD bombs, because I was, that's one area I just can't really get. straight.
So if you use a bath bomb, how long do you need to sit and soak for to get beneficial benefits out of it? Is it just 10 minutes, 15, 20, just, at least give it X a number of minutes or just
you're making it more difficult than it had to be. But if you just put some Epsom salt in the tub, how long that's going to take to soak in?
Okay.
CBD is just get in there. My mom is sitting there for 2 hours. Do that mean she's getting all the benefit? Probably not.
Gotcha. Lori Lancaster asks, what do customers prefer, gummies, oil, or smoking? I think they go,
that's a
loaded question, too big of a question.
Not too big. I think it's basically the thing about it is you can go either way. The smoking right now is great because the Delta 8 is crazy. Gummies are greater too, but I think if a person doesn't smoke, their next thing is the oil.
Okay.
Because the sugar in the gummies, some people shy away from. The gelatin in the gummies, they shy away from if it's not a vegan product. The oil is just oil and CBD. So it's more just two ingredients instead of red dye number 17, whatever. So people that's more purists, they like the oils. That makes sense.
So if you're a vegan and more purist and that sticks to oil, gummies, just not going to be your thing. And I've always wondered, like, who voted on making gummies like the quote unquote the go-to thing?
Well, I think gummies are easy and they're good. I mean, if you get a nice good gummy, man, and it put you to sleep, I mean, that's like a dynamic duo.
Right.
But if you get a bad gummy, you'll never try that gummy again.
Okay, explain that bad gummy. It just didn't have too much.
The taste.
Okay, the taste. Okay.
The taste of it is like, oh my God. It's not pleasing. So I think when you eat stuff, it should be good.
Right. Yeah, and I'm not a big sweets person, and that's the thing, is that I ended up getting into gummies because I was just trying to get it into my body. And the oil I took hemp oil instead of the regular CBD, so I kind of got turned off. I think not realizing I didn't get CBD oil, I got hemp oil, which didn't have quite the effects the gummies did. And
it's still good oil though. It's still good oil, but it's not CBD.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's still good oil, but it wasn't what I was attempting to get for what I was going for, was trying to go to sleep. Now, I will say this 100%. Since I started eating and taking it, it does help me go to sleep. But I noticed that my knees used to sound like Rice Krispie treats from all the powerlifting I used to do, going up and down stairs. That's gone away. That went totally away. And there was a time I accidentally didn't take them for 2 weeks. I just said, okay, no big deal. And I just kept going. And then all of a sudden the crackling came back. And I was like, I don't feel right in my knees. And I'm like, I haven't had this. And I was like, oh my gosh, I haven't had my CBD gummies in like almost 2 weeks. And I looked at my wife and she goes, well, let's go get some. She goes, she could hear it. She could hear it.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. People think that you take CBD one time and you miraculously cure from whatever ails you. No, it doesn't work like that.
But that was just a side benefit I had not even paid attention to. Exactly. I had not even paid attention and didn't even realize,
That's right. That's right. Because remember, we said it's a regulator. So even the things that you're not looking to manage, still being managed. And I think I tell a lot of my customers, I say, listen, the way you can't, it's hard to discover how it works unless you're using it for a certain thing. So I say, well, what do you want to use CBD for?
Mm-hmm.
I want to go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Mm-hmm. What's my next question? I ask them, how do you want to take it? Because their thing is, I just want something to make me sleep. I don't care what it is.
Right.
So, and the thing is, it's almost hard to tell. So what I do is I give them a little sample pack. They have a little sample pack that has a gummy, a smoke, little oil, just to give them a variety of different products to try, because you never know. One might work better than the other, and then you got your answer. So then you stick the products in that particular category.
Well, that's nice. That's awesome because I didn't have that. And you're just, you basically, I was buying at free will, just to try whatever, which I started with like a $10 little pack and then it went from there. But no, that's great because some of this stuff, it can range from different prices and people are like, I don't want to commit $30 or $20 to something I don't know that's not going to work. And in 2 weeks, I'm not happy. And I think that's a turnoff people may be getting because they're not getting introduced to it correctly or the right ways, or like what you're telling us. It's like, hey, look, try the oil first. The oil gets into your get in your system quicker. And then you can go from there, you're giving out sample packs, which I wish somebody had, because somebody said, here's a little sample pack about 3.
I don't give out sample packs. Now I have a sample pack that they purchase, but I give out stuff.
I would have bought that. I would have bought it.
Yeah, but I do give out samples. Like I give them out all the time. A lot of my customers come in here, they smoking with me or we eating gummies, but because I have a lot of regulars. But I just want to touch bases on one more thing.
Sure, go ahead. This is your show, darling.
My thing is, it's your life, it's your body, it's your health, it's your lack of sleep, it's you. Mm-hmm. You have to make a conscious decision to say, listen, I'm going to do something different today, because for the last however long, this ain't been working. I had a guy come here one time. He said he was on Ambien for 7 years.
Ambien for 7 years?
Sleep. And he still can't sleep.
Ambien's dangerous enough on its own. I mean, just taking it for a short term. I was on it with my doctor for a short term, and I had some bad side effects. Oh, some bad.
But we trust those old ways of medicine that ain't even working. The world's changing. People want something different. They want more natural stuff. They want to not be bogged down with prescription drugs. This is an option, but you have to take the step. Don't get confused about all of these products. Don't get confused about all that you hear. It is a simple concept. And there's videos out there that'll give you, a matter of fact, I'm gonna let you post some of them. I wish I had them. I'm gonna put them in this thing. But there's only a couple that will definitely just give you a basic knowledge. You'll be like, oh my God, it's so simple. But media makes it hard. People telling JoJo or Sarah or telling people misinformation. Exactly. People not understanding it's not weed. It's not weed, guys. It's not weed. And just taking a step to be your own judge of what's going to be good is your life.
Right.
You have to make a decision to try something different. If something or what you're doing is not working, the CBD is an option. I'm a living testimony. I'm an avid user and I'm an advocate of this stuff. And prior to 2016, it was taboo to me. That's the ironic.
Everybody. It was like, oh, you're, it just had a bad stigma. Yes. I think that's the best way to say it. It still does. And exactly. It still does.
Yeah.
And that's why people, when they see it, in a tobacco shop that are selling pipes and tobacco and all this, and they go, I don't know about this, versus walking into a store like yours. It's very, you're not, it's a different atmosphere, and you're educating, because even when you walk into the, and I've walked in those tobaccos, I'm like, can I buy it? What is this? And I had these questions, and they're like, oh, well, those are good. Well, those are good. Well, those are good. Well, that's good. And I'm like, I'm about to spend $30 on something. Well, that's good. Well, okay. Well,
well, that's what happens. Yeah. Well, the thing about it is you have to look at the source. And I don't take nothing from smoke shops because I use them sometimes.
I'm not against smoke shops, and I'm pro. I love tobacco shops because I go get my pipe, tobacco, and my cigar. So exactly. I'm not knocking them.
Nor the products, because if it's well-known products, buy it. Wherever you got to get it. Right. The thing is to get it in you or you get it on you. But if you want to feel better, you got to do something. The thing that I think that angers me is that there's so many folks that will tear it down just because they don't understand what it is, but they'll limp out of the store.
That's like, interesting.
You have to limp in. Well, it's like they want something more concrete than what their doctor gave them because that wasn't working. So I didn't try. I've been on this. Well, I'm not a doctor. I can't do that. But, well, how do I know this going to work? The same way that medicine you was taking from your doctor worked.
Right.
They scrutinize the
take
CBD
it and get in your body. Well, it's like antibiotics. When a doctor gives you antibiotics, you have to take it for a week, 2 weeks, or however long they tell you to get the full benefit out, because it's got to get in your system and do its thing. And now, tell me if I'm wrong. I was told it's like, hey, when you start taking the CBD, you've got to give it at least 14 days to get in your system to see if it's really. And I was like,
I don't know about that. I don't. Anybody out there know about that? Please tell us, because
I don't know. I mean, I was just talking, and that could have been totally false and totally wrong. And I was just like, oh, okay. Well, I mean, I'm willing to give anything some time to get in your body and digest and get through your body. And I understand the physics of that a little bit, but realistically, I get the effects when I eat the right amount of gummy in an hour or two.
You just said it. It's all about the milligram. So I'm like, yes.
Yeah. So is there and it's hard to say, because it's like my doctor told me, he's like, Andy, you can take 4 Advil if you need to take Advil, 800 milligrams, because you're that big of a guy, and it will not affect you the way it'll affect Roz, who is 100 and such 40 pounds, 40 pounds and 5 foot, whatever, and you're 6'2", it won't. It is going to affect you differently, your liver negatively than me versus you taking 2, me 4. And then my wife always questioned that. So why do you take 4? I said, my doctor said flat out, I can take it because of my size, how big I am, and what it takes to affect the areas I need to affect without adversely affecting my liver or kidneys or anything.
Okay, so let me ask you something. Did that work?
Yeah, it does. It does. But 2 does nothing for me, but 4 does exactly what it needed to do for a headache or joint ache or swelling.
I'm not no doctor, but look that up on the side effects.
I don't take it all the time. I'm just saying if I heard something like again, for my knees are CBD has taken that away and all that. But if I take something for a headache or anything, it's usually 4 Advil. But my doctor's like, dude, you can take it. He said, we're figuring out things, body types, because he said centralized medicine was based upon a chart they derived in the 50s and 60s. And it has changed because we as people have changed as size and heights and weights and everything. We figured out, what's good for you may not be the same, may be adversely overkill for the person next to you.
But you don't. That's hypothetical.
That's just what they told me. So my point is of this roundabout to get to where my point was is that finding that milligram of the CBD that it hits for you. And you're saying, some days you take 10, some days you take 30. Where is that daily range? I know for me right now, I take a gummy to gummy and a half. So that's 30 to 40, roughly, give or take, a night to help me go to sleep. And that way I can get up and move about my day and get a good 6-7 hours sleep, if not 8. So you don't have a chart. You just say, hey, start 10, go 20, go 25, go 30, go 50.
I tell people to follow the manufacturer's instructions, because every bottle in here is different. So
okay, explain that.
So let me give you an example. So
yeah, please give us an example. What are you grabbing there?
These bottles are made for.
What are those bottles?
These are just bottles of oils under the tongue, sublingual oils.
Relief, relax, and what's the other one?
Don't look at that. Okay, that's marketing. We're talking about a product. So box are pretty. So pretty boxes get a lot of attention. Like pretty women, pretty men, or handsome men, they get a lot of attention. Don't mean they're good on the inside. Just mean they gonna be seen first. So I'm saying that don't judge a book by. Now these are some great brands. I love them both. They're very, very good. Gotcha. The point is, this one says.
Sorry,
serving size is 1 full dropper. That means every serving is 1 full dropper. It's just not rocket science. In that full serving is what they recommend. Okay, so you take a full serving of this.
Okay.
It doesn't work. So now you say, all right, Roz, well, I tried, it didn't work. Okay, well, what you should do, take a serving and a half the next time and see if that works even better. Because your sweet spot, even though I take 30 or 10, I just do it because I like to eat them. I'm fully infused every day.
I'm afraid if I eat it during the day, I'll wind down and want to take a nap and go to sleep.
Okay, that's okay. Another segment. You just killing it for me, bro. All right, that is another misconception. That's not true. CBD doesn't put you on the couch.
Okay.
For those that you said that the knees was bothering, but you weren't paying attention to that because it wasn't what you were after.
Exactly.
Okay, well, it's the same thing with this.
Mm-hmm.
If you have anxiety during the day, can you not take CBD because it's gonna make you sleepy? No.
Okay, good to know.
You may have to take less of it. You may take the same thing. It's dealing with another condition, but it's going to get fixed either way if you take it or not. You taking it for sleep. Right. You don't know how well it's working until you wake up.
Right.
So try it during the day.
Okay.
That way you can judge in your conscious state if it's helping with anxiety or whatever it is. Not you personally, but whoever. Right. Some people who can't sleep also have anxiety.
Okay. Good point.
Work for the sleep.
Right. Well, and they have drinks now. They've got infused in energy drinks and all kinds of drinks. I'm sure you've got the drinks as well. What's that one? That is.
It's a CBD syrup. It's like a NyQuil, but it's all CBD.
Oh wow! I didn't even know they made that.
Yep, it's a PM. Then there's somebody say, Roz, I need something just for sleep. I just got this today. This is made for sleep. Why is that? Well, it's CBD, but the manufacturer decided to add other ingredients that promote sleep. Melatonin.
Okay.
This one has 16 milligrams of melatonin and 200 milligrams of CBD. So they combined it. You might not be able to get the full sleep with the melatonin alone, but if you add the CBD, that may be.
See, I was taking melatonin before, and I was taking the melatonin by itself, and like I said, it just seemed like when I woke up, it was just drag. It was with me, and I was dragging till about 11, 12 o'clock. Now I don't feel that way when I take the CBD gummies. I don't feel that way. And nothing against melatonin in general. So I got away from the melatonin because of that. Okay,
but remember, it's a personal choice.
Exactly. Personal choice doesn't mean that's what's going to happen for you. Exactly.
Because Andy doesn't like it, doesn't mean it doesn't fit for somebody. Somebody might love melatonin, but with the CBD might give them the extra boost. Because melatonin, some people still don't get, either they wake up groggy or it's not enough. So this is just like another hand to push you down to sleep.
For somebody, for somebody who the CBD just isn't enough, right?
Yes, it's another option.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's another, sometimes you want to try multiple products.
So what you're saying is all these products that we're getting flooded with is just options.
Yes,
options for you to figure out what's good for you and your chemical makeup, your body size. That's what you're telling us.
Yeah, so don't get confused with all the products. There's a million of them. Keep in mind that you find one of the methods that you like, and then you choose products from that method. And if you want to cross them, you can, because it's no right or wrong way to do it, so to speak. Right. Your body will respond either way, and then you would know what to do, either up it or down it.
Now you hit on, you hit on Delta A or Delta. You brought that up, can you walk us down that path of Delta and what that is? And you've touched on it, and I think that's seems to be a good topic.
Delta 8.
Okay.
Is the middle child.
Okay.
That's what I call her. Okay. I call her the middle child because she has CBD effects and the marijuana ones. Okay. Why? Because it is actually a CBD that's derived from hemp.
Okay.
is 8. The psychoactive that's in marijuana is THC 9, which is the one that's prohibited in the state of Georgia and a lot of other places. Yeah. However, the THC 8, because it's protected by the plant itself, we can still have it. Now, the DEA did try to stop it back in October. Not sure what happened. I don't think it went through, but they were saying that because Delta 8 has a slightly psychoactive effect because of how it binds to, I think it's the G protein.
Somebody says that it will show up on possibly a drug or people.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Somebody told me that. I just want to make sure that was correct information. Okay.
It's THC. It depends on the test because folks, okay, so just because you can't have THC does not mean you can't have hemp or CBD. There are versions of hemp that does not contain any THC whatsoever. So here it is. Full spectrum. If you cannot have any type of THC in your system, cop, doctor, lawyer, Indian chief, whatever, stay away from full spectrum CBD.
Stay away from full spectrum if you are
don't want to pop dirty.
Yeah, you don't want to pop dirty or act like or seem like you're doing something wrong.
Doing something wrong, yes, because even though
you're not. Okay.
Even though it's a legal product, some jobs still have a gray area when it comes to that. So be mindful of if you can't have THC at all, whether it's 0.3%, which we're allowed to have or less, then don't touch it. Find another product like a broad spectrum. Now, broad spectrum has everything.
And ask those questions when you're buying it. And ask that question when you're buying it.
Yes, if it's most of the customers do. I can't have no THC, and that's something that the person that's giving it to or selling it to they should know. Because if you can't have THC, I can't sell you this.
I will say this. And that's great that you know that, because I've been in the stores. So I'm like, does that have THC? And the person behind the counter was like, I don't know. And I'm like,
Well, that's unfortunate, because to me, I think this is the best thing I have seen in my lifetime as far as medicines. I'm sorry. And if it ain't being distributed the way it's, if it ain't being, people ain't educated about it, it's unfortunate. But if you buy from a smoke shop, remember, smoke shops are not there for health and wellness. They're there for smoking. Yeah. The CBD is a impulse buy or something as conveniently having in their space. So if you getting that, you can get that too. CBD stores, and I'm not taking that away from the gas stations or any of that. No. CBD stores, that's all we do. CBD.
And you can buy it there once you're educated from someone like you at a store like you. If you need it in a pinch and you're out, and, you at least at that point know what you can or can't take.
Scan the barcode. If you ever go into a gas station,
yes, ma'am,
or any CBD shop, this is a barcode that will take you to what is called a COA, Certificate of Analysis. Okay. It will show you the whole chemical structure, everything that's in it, as far as the hemp part of it, the ingredients, and that's only for the plant part of it. Because remember, all these start from the plant.
Right. So
the COA is what the plant genetics, basically, and where it came from, what's in it. Right. The ingredients on the box is different, but that COA would definitely give you the milligram and everything. So if you're in the gas station and you need CBD in a pinch, grab your barcode scanner and scan that barcode and see where it takes
your camera on your phone and pull it up, and the information is right there. Bottom line is educate yourself and make sure you're covering your own self, and not just whatever is there because it says, because and this was the conception I had for a while, is that it's so popular and people are, companies are probably just slapping CBD on. They don't care. They're just selling stuff because it's such a hot topic. And I was very leery of that, because in our past, people will take and slap something on something to sell it, and it's not as good a quality as another product. That was my big fear or thought,
Well, and that's why I love my shop, man. And I'm sorry, I'm biased. I am.
You have every right to be, and you have every right to be.
I'm very passionate about when something make me feel like this because I'm about feeling good. That's my whole motto.
You can tell 100% you're passionate. The first time you and I had a phone conversation, I was like, whoa, ho, ho, ho.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you, it has said I have had some very traumatic situations in my life in the last 2 years. And if it had not been for a few folks, my CBD, my music, my meditation, I probably would be singing another song.
Gotcha.
But the CBD kept me balanced while I weathered this storm. And now I'm coming on the other side. And I just want to tell everybody, man, I'm a living testimony. This stuff is the truth. And if you don't listen to me, hey, somebody gonna tell you, because you might be one of the only ones that ain't gonna have it, because there's a lot of us out here that's feeling better. You know, this is the only life that we know we get right now. So make the best of it. It's your life. Nobody gonna love you like you. Take a chance. You know, it don't have to be a really hard, expensive thing to do. There's ways that you can get it in.
Right. Mine was costing me, about 20. When I first started buying it, it was 20, and then it went to 25. Now it's 30, and that's fine with me. I'm willing to spend $30 to $50 a month. That helps me sleep and make sure the next day. So it's worth it to me. At the end
it's
of
the best $50 you probably spend in that month. At least one of them.
Right.
Because if you don't sleep, you out of balance. That's the body needs to restore. Is a machine. Is basically a machine.
And I didn't realize that so much, because I used to run and go. I'm a sales guy, ran my own business, and I would sleep 4 or 5 hours, get up and run and go. And now I'm in my 40s, and I was like, I'm still drained, even though my doctor like put me on blood pressure medicine. Your blood pressure is like, I'm still drained, dude. I'm not. I know I'm not sleeping. I know I'm not sleeping right, and that's when he goes, well, take melatonin, I'll help you go to sleep. And I was like, well, then that's what kind of walked me down this path to CBD and the benefits of CBD, because I was like, well, I don't want to take the THC part, because I don't want to, even though I ran my own business, I was like, well, if I go to work for somebody, I don't want to show up dirty if I go working for a company. And that was just my mentality on it. And of course, everybody's mentality was negative, but I knew there was positive aspects of it, because I'm open-minded, and I've always been open-minded to anything organic or plant-based versus something cooked up in a shop or a laboratory, and then go, oh, hey, this is good for you. Are we sure? Are we sure?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of good stuff out here. CBD is just one of them. I don't know about. I mean, the healthy thing, I was never really into health like that. I was always like athletic build, just naturally. But as I got older, and this machine mechanism started changing on me, then I had to make some adjustments. And luckily, thank God and all those holy angels, that I found CBD, because that medication I was taking was not working.
No.
And I was 165 pounds.
Mm-hmm. Well, I wish I was 165 pounds, because I'm 265.
It's all good. It don't matter. It's all you. Every last thing.
But my point is they stuck me on Ambien, and I had some really bad side effects on Ambien. I'm talking bad. And then come to find out, at that time, people were like hallucinating, driving through, windows and people's houses, and
CBD I'm like, don't do that.
No, CBD don't do that. CBD doesn't do that. CBD don't do that. And I was watching TV. This mom of 4 kids drove her SUV through somebody's house. Look at that, blacked out. I'm like,
CBD. She would have been good, probably. CBD. Her and the kids.
That scared me. Because I was like, oh, this is not good.
You think about a person's mental. Now, there have been studies and all over the place that shows the mental balance you can get back just by taking CBD. I think we probably, 3,000 more people maybe been in here, maybe.
Oh, wow.
Since the last 2 years.
Wow. And I think more and more people are turning on to it and getting more educated, and questioning what's going on with them, and questioning the side effects and the way they feel on the medication there. And nothing against the doctors, nothing against it, but everybody's body is different. Everybody is different. Everybody Because once you take something for so long, you become immune to whatever it's doing. Like you were saying about that guy or that came in your store, been taking Ambien for 7 years.
Yeah, the Ambien guy. Yeah.
And I'm like, that's scary. That's scary.
Well, look at me. I was taking blood pressure medicine since I was 35, 30 something. And they changed me 3 times. I still couldn't get it done. Now, wait a minute. CBD still has not leveled it to enough where I can stop taking it.
Right.
But guess what? It makes me sleep better. I'm not as anxious. I don't have a lot. I mean, I have a rabbit mind like you. I have to slow down and lay down and go to sleep because I'm always thinking about the next thing to do tomorrow.
Yep. Meditation
helped with that because I have a very active mind. ADHD in adults. That's what they want to say.
Yep.
They want to, my son.
You do a meditation thing at your shop. You have meditation things at your shop. I want to talk about that just because we're getting close to our hour. I don't want to miss anything, but you have meditation things at your shop with the CBD as well, right?
Lucky I was on right now.
We're meditating now. I couldn't hear it.
All right, so let me just take anything you want to ask me because I want to make sure they get these 5 points before I go.
Get the 5 points and let's land the plane and
find a product you like. Try it. When you take it, make sure you know the milligram serving. If the milligram is 200 or 500 in the container, check to see the serving size. That is what you will be ingesting. 1 serving size, okay? Number 2, it's not weed. Number 3, everybody is individually affected differently. So what's good for you may not be good for the next person. Try little things every now and then. Do some research. What else? And if you need anything, I am always here. Well, Tuesday to Saturday, 1 to 6, 801 Church Street. I am an advocate. I am an avid user. I hope I answered your questions, but please just try it.
You gave us a ton of information, and there's some back feeds coming somewhere. Oh, and here's her website, the CBD Joint Collective. It's right here. You can order everything 10%. By the way, I'm ordering my round because I just ran out. I'm going to order these right here because they're $27.99. You say I get and you say
right off of the coming on.
I get 10% off, so that's great. And I'm going to get those, and I will show it on the next podcast that I got it in. Just so in case anybody wants to know, I'm always a man of my word.
Research. Do your own research, guys. I'm gonna give Andy some of these ones that got me. And they say knowledge is power, and when you know better, is your duty to do better. So don't listen to everybody else's experience of yourself.
Exactly. Do your own. Test out, ask questions, do your own research. I can't get okay. There's my arrow. And before we go, my wife had a question. Hey, Roz, will suppositories help my husband when he's a pain in my butt? We always got to end off on a laugh. I didn't even know she was doing that.
Hey, I'll tell you what.
Oh no. What you gonna do, Roz?
When he okay, the suppository don't work, put this on yours. That's a pain patch.
Oh, pain in the butt patch.
So when you're pain in your butt, put this on there.
I didn't even know they had patches. 60 milligram CBD.
And let me tell you what this is. This is a 60 milligram time release. You leave it on for 96 hours. You don't even take it off. You shower with it and everything. I love it. You put it where it hurts and you leave it there. And then you can peel it off after 4 days. But and it works great. But you make sure you don't get no grease on your hands because if it don't stick right, you're in trouble.
Oh, good to know. Thank you. That is good information. A lot of products I didn't know about. That's awesome. Like I said, I knew you were going to have so many answers to the questions I had personally, and I know a lot of people have products. Oh, what you got there?
This is olive oil.
Oh yeah, olive oil, CBD olive oil. I've seen that. I've not tried it or used it, but you cook with it. I saw you were cooking with it on one of your videos the other day.
Hot sauce.
They have it in hot sauce? I didn't even know that. Jeez. I love hot sauce.
Drinks. Just get it. Get it in you or get it on you. Just get it.
Get it in you or get it on you. Those are words to close the show by.
Yeah.
Roz, I want to thank you for not only your sponsorship the last 6 weeks, but you coming on here and really just walking us down the path of CBD and educating us, because there was a ton of information. Folks, I can't stress enough, if you need CBD in any way, got questions, hopefully this answered it. If not, go to the cbdcollective.com or reach out to Roz at the CBD Joint at 801 Church Street in Marietta. She will answer your she'll answer all your. She went away. Okay. She will answer all your questions. She'll answer anything she want. She's normally there Tuesday through Saturday. Her stuff is on the webpage of CBD Collective. It's on every one of our posts. So just hit the CBD Collective. Go to her Facebook page. You can check everything out. And hopefully this has been informative to you as it has been for me. I can't stress enough. It does well for me. It does wonders for me in ways that help me go to sleep. And like I said, my knees that I didn't even know it was doing as a positive side effect. So figure it out for yourself. But get any questions, give Roz a call. Go to her website, 10% off all online. And if you mention the Fat Thor podcast or Power 108.9, she will give you 10% off in store. She also has curbside pickup and free delivery within 5 miles of her store. But folks, that is our show. Thank you everyone who's listening on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and our 18 other platforms like Spotify, Amazon, iHeartRadio, everything else. Roz, thank you, darling. Appreciate you. Got one more dang. Don't worry, Roz. We got you, darling. We're at the end of the show. No, hey, perfect timing, Roz, by the way. Perfect timing. Don't worry about it. You were awesome. Thank you, Nina Page and my wife and Lori Lancaster for commenting. We will be loading this episode up on February the 2nd on Spotify and our other 18 platforms out there. So wherever you listen to podcasts, it will be out there for you. Thank you, Roz. Couldn't thank you enough. Awesome episode. So Spotify, everything else that you listen to, we are out there. We are on it. And we will see you here next Thursday at 8:00 for another amazing show. And don't forget our friends at Venture Roofing. If you're in the Atlanta metro area and you have some roof damage, roof leak from the storms, or just thinking about a new roof, call them at 678-656-7482. Visit our friend Ross. And that is it for our show. We'll see you next week. And hopefully you will, by then, educate yourself more on some CBD and give it a try. And hopefully it'll benefit you like it has benefited me and so many others. Until then, I'm your host, Andy Gunnin. We'll see you later, folks. Good night.